I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. If you remain in me, and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Jesus spoke these words during his most intimate time with his disciples. Some Bible scholars would say that the exact context of this discourse was the last Passover meal of Jesus with his disciples when they were still in the upper room. Still, others would claim that these words were uttered by Jesus when they were already walking toward the Garden of Gethsemane. But for our reflection today, what I consider to be worth noting are these two details. First, Jesus claimed to be the true vine. He attributed to himself the Old Testament imagery in a radical and new way. In the Old Testament, particularly in Isaiah chapter 5, verses 1 to 7, and Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21, Israel is often represented as a grapevine. But by saying that he is the true vine, Jesus is simply contrasting himself with the vine of Israel. Unlike the people of Israel who became unfaithful to her covenant with Yahweh, Jesus does not separate himself from the will of the Father. In fact, Jesus establishes the credibility of his identity and mission based on his union with his Father. And the efficacy of his salvific mission is rooted in his intimate relationship with the Father who sent him. My dear friends, this is an important aspect of our Christian life and the whole program of the Church. The moment we choose to separate ourselves from God, we are bound to fail. Without God's assistance, without God's help, our Christian life would lose its sense of direction. Our ecclesial structures and programs would be devoid of meaning. Pope Francis often warns us of activism, that is, when we do certain things without prayer, when we organize activities relying on our own efforts without counting on the grace of God. Second, Jesus challenges his disciples to remain in him. Remaining in Jesus is not a mere poetic expression. It entails a concrete action on the part of those who wish to follow him. It is interesting to note that the verb remain in its original Greek text is meinate, from meno, which means to stand firm in the middle of a combat or struggle. Brothers and sisters, we all have our own struggles in life. To choose what is good, to be holy in all the circumstances of our life, can be a real struggle, since we have a wounded nature that causes us to be separated from God. At times we are led to think that we can be successful in all our endeavors by relying solely on our merits. We think that we can withstand every temptation of the devil based on our own strength. But Jesus simply tells us today, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Let us be wary of the tendency to think that God and His commandments are burdensome. At times people would say, di kay ko magpaduol sa Ginoo, Padre. Di kay nako seryosoho na nga ko ang Kristohanon nga kinabuhi. Kay di na niya ako free nga bubuhat sa akong gustong buhaton. As if God is a threat to our happiness and freedom. But the saints would tell us that the more we attach ourselves to God, the more we establish a relationship with God, we become all the more free and happy. Christ is the true vine, and we are His branches. Once a certain Padre de Familia, a lay faithful, shared with me his personal reflection. Mingon siya, Padre, dili dihay sayon nga mamahimong matinud-anon nga bana o amahan sa daghan kayong mga pagsulay o tentasyon nga moabot sa kinabuhi. I simply smiled, and before I could say a word, he continued, mao nga naningkamot ko nga dili mahikalimot sa pagsangpit sa Ginoo diya sa pagampo. Nang hinaot ko nga buligan niya ang akong mga paningkamot ug nga lig-uno niya kanunay ang akong kabubuton aron akong buhaton ang unsay maayo. This person may not have studied theology, but he clearly knows what is essential to one's Christian life. That is, to have the strength of will to remain in the Lord. After all, Christ is the vine and we are His branches. As we continue to offer this Holy Mass, we ask our Lord for the grace that we may have the strength of will to always remain in Him as our true vine. Only then can we grow in holiness. Only then can we bear fruit that will last forever.